And I'm here to document what happened.
Sorry guys, it's pitiful.
Thank you, we appreciate that.
Yeah. So you can see that they broke those windows. Did they threw flares on your carpet?
Huh?
That's messed up.
Yep, and not only that, but it's what's really entertaining is it's a custom carpet that is. Pete Mark was one of our donors that we passed a couple years ago. He was just an incredible collector, and he wanted to make sure that OHS was a very special place. The awnings and all this other stuff. He was responsible for putting that together. The carpet was one of his, and it's kind of one piece. So it's how we're going to repair it. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I have a lot of love and respect for this place. I mean, there's been several times I've had to use the bathroom and stuff, and they've, and you go to a lot of these businesses down here, and they're like, no, and to see, this is a historical place. It's designed to teach people about history and stuff, and to do the damage they did, and the damaging that quilt.
I'm sorry, what?
And damaging that quilt, that's all wrong.
I agree.
Anything
you need?
I get the mail. Can I get that?
Oh, sure, come on in. Sorry, excuse me.
It's all right.
The mail.
I know.
There's this destruction.
Oh, no, here he is.
Over there is where one of the statues was pulled down.
So you can see how it is.
Why do that?
How you doing?
Go check these stuff.
Are you on?
Right now?
No.
Me.
Not you. You're not that cool, Charlie.
Not that cool.
I love you, buddy. I'm messing with you.
Well, no, I was just going to let them know in live streaming because that's not live, is it?
No.
Exactly.
All right. There's the Theodore Roosevelt. There used to be a statue up there, and then they pulled it down. Yeah, look at all that right there.
Brought signs. Remember. Grab it.
Bob. All right.
Does anyone know how many monuments were taken down?
2.
2 at the moment.
How far away are they?
One's there, and one's right down there. See that concrete block?
Right here in this area?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still don't know why anybody's fighting anybody while billionaires walk the earth. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Why are we got billionaires just up the road, and everybody wants to come out, and poor people want to fight poor people, and we want to sick cops on criminals, and we want to put everybody in jail, or we want to,
That's what they want.
you know, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Why
That's what
aren't we
the
going
billionaires
after the billion? As soon as we knock off a couple of those guys, everything will change in a hurry.
My name is Michael Cross. I'm a Republican
Oh, here
nominee
we go.
for state Attorney General.
Okay, so you for,
I work for the people.
well,
And he's
what are
not
you going to do
a
about the
sellout.
billionaires? Because that's the problem.
Well,
Right
if they're
there.
breaking
You
the
say
law,
that-
put them in jail. That's what we do.
Well, okay, but you know, if you just said to
This
Bezos,
is
here's
Michael
500
Cross,
million,
right
man,
here,
have a
running
nice
for Attorney
life,
General
and
for Oregon.
sort of
Pretty
set out
much,
his
he's doing great. He's amazing. He is
make it like we do at post offices.
Hey, Michael,
500 million, we can
follow me.
I'm waiting on the guy.
country with that money right there.
Go with you right now?
Yeah.
I mean, let alone what we mess up in the military. We're creating money and just giving it to God.
What are we doing?
I'm going to introduce you to someone.
That took the L as a Proud Boy. And he's like, I've never once been associated with them. If you're just a right-wing man, you're automatically a Proud Boy to these people. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. Who did they say took the
I can't remember. It was just some. He just decided to take
Chandler?
it. Probably.
That's who took the hill.
Yeah, there was something.
And I am up in Portland right now at the Oregon Historical Society Museum. Our website is michaelcross4oregon.com. You know, it's tragic what happened here last night, and it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. I don't know what these people are thinking. Apparently mob rules now in Portland, because the things that were destroyed and removed from the Oregon Historical Society are things that minorities made, that slaves made, that Native Americans made. We're talking about pottery, quilts, artifacts, things that cannot be replaced, many of which are very old and irreplaceable. So I would ask that if they have these items, they would return them, but many of them were desecrated, they were urinated on, they were defecated on, and what message does that send? What are these people doing? What are they trying to accomplish? And then they toppled the monuments. We're going to go over there and we're going to talk about that. I mean, what is the message here? That chaos reigns in Portland? I mean, because anything initially that they had, that they started with, is lost now. It's gone. So, yes, Oregon has racist roots, and we need to get rid of that. Get me into office and I will. But what's going on with this stuff is inexcusable and not going to solve anything. And I mean, I'm beside myself. I don't know. I don't know what to say. What do you say? The windows are smashed out. We're going to go over here and check it out. The windows are smashed out. If you raise the camera up, you can see. And I mean, was a nice place. The whole entry was smashed out, boarded up. They have security now keeping people from going in there, and I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know what to say. It's very sad. You need to get me in there and hold these people accountable, because I don't think the Multnomah County District Attorney is going to be prosecuting these people. I hope that he will, but I don't foresee that in the foreseeable future. And Mayor Ted Wheeler is also culpable in this act. He's culpable, and he needs to. I challenge him to stand up and tell these people that what they did was wrong. That's what he needs to do, because it is wrong and it should not be happening. And if you know, I'm going to investigate those two. The Multnomah County District Attorney and Ted Wheeler, I'm going to investigate them for malfeasance and violating their oaths of office and accessory to rioting, felony, which is a felony, allowing these criminals to go free, not prosecuting 80% of the cases. People in Portland do not feel safe. And when you have stuff like this going on, what is the message other than chaos reigns in Portland? That's the message, and that's not acceptable, and that has no place in Oregon at all, not at all. Again, it's michaelcrossfororegon.com. I'm the Republican nominee for State Attorney General. Get me in there, and all this will seem like a bad dream. This is a bad dream, and this is not the Oregon that I know and love. I love you guys. I will see you soon. Share this video. We are not funded by the corporate interests. We are not funded by special interests. We are funded by we the people. And the only way we're going to get the message out there, the only way we're going to win, is if you guys share these videos, you guys get the word out, because we cannot afford expensive advertising. My opponent has raised something like $600,000, and we've just raised several thousand. And that's fine. It's not going to take much money. If you guys help me with this, I'm happy to lead the fight, but I can't do it by myself. So, again, michaelcrossfororegon.com. I love you guys. We're going to head over to the monuments, and we're going to be talking about the destruction and removal of those. That's also unacceptable. Thank you very much.
They don't pick on you. They don't fuck share. Respect. Then we get the bad actors out. We don't let bad actors hang and we get them out. For other groups and organizations, they let bad actors stay, they protect them. I encourage every organization to get the bad actors out. You know what I mean? Immediately.
It's loading onto the page still.
Well, yeah, it's a whole nother ball of wax.
I walked up to the Rose Garden over there.
Oh, quickly barking.
And I'm live.
Why did they take this one down?
Because you're a white man in history?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's be real. They tore down Abraham Lincoln, who freed the slaves. Like, what's the thought process of that? Like, I can't find even the dumbest thought process. If you're white, you ain't right?
It's white history.
Well, there wouldn't really be black history in the world without white history helping us.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was one of my majors in college, was history. I mean, I dropped out of college, but I still learned a lot more than I ever would have thought.
Are we going?
Just a second, it had too much light distribution. Alright, 3, 2...
Hi, my name is Michael Cross. I am the Republican nominee for State Attorney General. Thank you for watching today. We're up in Portland in front of the Oregon Historical Society, where artifacts were stolen, defecated on, urinated on, things that were made by minorities, Native Americans, African Americans, And I don't know what's going on in this town. I don't know what's going on in this town anymore. Over here in front of that, across the way, it says love rules. It says love rules. So apparently not in Portland, not at the moment. It's very sad. So get me in there and all this will seem like a bad dream. I am here in front of the Theodore Roosevelt where the monument stood. It's now gone. And I'm going to read to you what it says here about Theodore Roosevelt. He was found faithful over a few things, and he was made ruler over many. He was frail. He made himself a tower of strength. He was timid. He made himself a lion of courage. He was a dreamer. He became one of the great doers of all time. Men put their trust in him. Women found a champion in him. Kings stood in awe of him, but children made him their playmate. He broke a nation's slumber with his cry, and it rose up. Souls became swords through him. Swords became servants of God. He was loyal to his country, and he exacted loyalty. He loved many lands, but he loved his own land best. He was terrible in battle, but tender to the weak. Joyous and tireless, being free from self-pity. Clean with a cleanness that cleansed the air like a gale. His courtesy knew no wealth or class. His friendship no creed or color or race. His courage stood every onslaught of savage beast and ruthless man, of loneliness, of victory, of defeat. His mind was eager, his heart was true, his body and spirit defiant of obstacles. Ready to meet what might come, he fought injustice and tyranny, bore sorrow gallantly, loved all nature, bleak places and hardy companions, hazardous adventure in the zest of battle. Wherever he went, he carried his own pack, and in the uttermost parts of the earth, he kept his conscience for his guide. This man fought tyranny, and they removed his monument. The man that fought tyranny was removed. What does that tell you? What do these people value? You know,
They value
this was
tyranny.
only placed here only 20 years ago. And I don't... So they don't like men and women that fight tyranny? That's okay now in Portland? That makes no sense to me. No sense at all. Today's a very sad day in Portland, and we need to get me in there to hold these people accountable so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen any longer. That's what we need to do. Because if the elected officials allow this to happen and they do not hold these people accountable, then there's something very wrong in our city and in our state. It's michaelcrossfororegon.com. Share the video. That's the only way we're going to win. We've got to get the word out. Thank you very much.
I'll be back on.
Oh, good. They even wrote on it. On America.
Yep.
What land? It's like I didn't take shit from fucking people. And most people are doing this. Aren't even,
Land back.
you're not gonna get the fucking land back. It's already here.
So this is a Lincoln Memorial, Abraham Lincoln. This is where the statue was at.
Back in
You ready? And we're... You know how to ride?
Oh, there we go.
You gotta do that. Get that one and then you get one.
Hey, there's where Waldo is.
You're ready. Alright.
Good?
I'm gonna come on that side because
She's the only camera that's not.
alright. 3, 2.
Good? Michael Cross here, Republican nominee for State Attorney General. Our website is michaelcrossfororegon.com. Today's a very sad day in Portland, and several monuments were removed, were toppled over. The Oregon Historical Society Museum was broken into, priceless artifacts stolen, desecrated, that were made by minorities. And here I am in front of the Abraham Lincoln where the monument used to stand. And they toppled it last night. This was placed here by Henry Waldo Coe in 1928. And I'm going to read to you. It says on there, there's graffiti on there, it says land back. So I don't know what that's about. But this is about Lincoln. The Oregon Lincoln Bicentennial Commission was established by Oregon Governor Ted Kulongoski to mark the national bicentennial celebration of the President Abraham Lincoln's birthday on February 12, 2009. This dedicated group of Oregonians brought together to increase knowledge of Abraham Lincoln in Oregon, held educational town halls throughout Oregon, and recreated historic events from Lincoln's presidency. In addition to Lincoln's lasting legacy of ending slavery, and I'm going to repeat that, in addition to Lincoln's lasting legacy of ending slavery in the United States and preserving the Union, the OLBC emphasized Lincoln's contributions to Oregon in support for the Homestead Act, establishment of land-grant colleges, and launch of the Transcontinental Railroad. This man helped to end slavery, and they toppled his statue. The other one over there, that Theodore Roosevelt, he was working to end tyranny. They toppled his statue. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the groups that are responsible for these criminal acts, they like tyranny and they like slavery. Those two things, because the men that represented all that those things that are against those things, they toppled their statues. Lincoln was against slavery. They toppled his statue. Theodore Roosevelt was against tyranny. They toppled his statue. And I, after getting elected, will assist the federal government in prosecuting whoever did this with 10 years of prison. I will assist that investigation. And these people that did this need to spend 10 years in prison because this is inexcusable. And I can't understand it. I really can't. I mean, if it was a controversial figure, if they had done some things in their lifetime, I can understand some people don't agree with those monuments, but in this case, that is not the case. And furthermore, even if a person did something controversial in their life, we need to remember what they did. The bad things in our history, we need to remember, because if we remove those points in time, anything relevant to that, anything that happened, if we remove that, then how are we going to remember? It's like in our lives, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. And when we make mistakes, we can't learn from our mistakes if we forget those mistakes. So the only way we can make our lives better and be better people is by learning from our mistakes. And that's why, even if you disagree with a monument, you need to let it stand. But in this case, I don't understand why they did that. I don't understand why they would do the things they did. That tells me that they are against minorities, they are for slavery, and they are for tyranny. And the elected officials in Portland need to hold these people accountable. If they don't, I will be investigating them as an accessory to these acts, and they could face 10 years in prison, according to the new federal law in desecrating monuments. So, Wheeler, Mike Schmidt, hold them accountable, or I'm coming after you. MichaelCrossForOregon.com. Remember to vote. Today is the last day to register to vote if you're not already registered. So check your status to make sure you're registered online. You can do that at the Oregon Secretary of State's website, and we're going to have a link for that on our page. Share our stuff. We're on Instagram. We're on, where are we on?
You're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, email, just about anything can be.
MichaelCrossForOregon.com. The email address is michael@michaelcrossfororegon.com. So this kind of stuff needs to stop, people. This is not the Oregon that I know and love. This is why I'm running. This is why I'm running, because we need elected officials to hold these people accountable and protect our people, our residents. These items that were made by taxpayer dollars, I don't know if who paid for this or what, but basically it's on public property. And so these items, these monuments, are held in trust.
Thank you.
They are held in trust, and our elected officials, police commissioner and the like, they have a duty to protect our things that are owned publicly. We all own this, okay? So them desecrating this monument, it's their own monument. Why are they doing this to themselves? And these elected officials need to protect our stuff, these items that are held in trust, paid for by tax dollars. This is not right, people, and it needs to stop. I love you guys. Share the videos. michaelcrossfororegon.com. Bye-bye. Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right.
Phil.
Phil?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2.
This guy.
Hi, Michael Cross here, Republican nominee for State Attorney General. Our website is michaelcrossfororegon.com. We are up in Portland today. Very tragically, the Oregon Historical Society was broken into a couple of days ago. Many items were stolen, desecrated, vandalized. It's terrible. Several monuments were removed. And I'm here with the young man that he's not happy with what's going on in Portland. And so anyway, my name's Mike, and you are?
Phil. Mr. Johnson Bay.
Okay, nice to meet you, Phil.
Yep.
What do you think about what's going on in Portland?
First of all, I want to say thanks for having you talking to me today.
Oh, absolutely.
I appreciate what you're doing out here. I respect what you're doing out here.
Thank you.
A lot of people out here feel like their way to make a difference is to cause disruption and confusion. And I see you out here being a man, and I see you showing up, showing your face, campaigning.
Thank you.
You know, wholeheartedly, man, and I respect it. I'm not sure of your politics just yet, but the fact that you did that says a whole lot, you know. And I just want to say thank you for doing that. Now, what I think about Portland, what I think about Portland is I think that they need a lot more of what we're doing right now. I think it's a shit show, and I think that
A shit show.
Yeah, and it's not Portland to blame. Also, it's not Portland. These are not Portlanders doing this.
Where are they from?
I'm not sure, but they're imports, definitely. They like, I don't know, maybe from I don't want to say specifically California, but that's our closest state. And I hear a lot of people saying that people came up through, I know a lot of people in Southern California, and they say they had a mass migration coming this way, and they had a lot of people talking about taking Kate Brown out. So
They want to remove Kate Brown.
that's or they want to destabilize the place to make her look like she's incompetent as a governor.
Well, she's not doing anything. So I mean,
it's hard, man. You know what kind of response you need to do
Yeah,
something like this?
I mean,
you know what kind of joint effort you need to make a difference in a situation like this when you have so many different sides and it's different levels of politics. You got city, state, local. I mean, it's federal. It's so many levels that her hands are actually tied. She's just the face of Oregon.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's
she's
almost
not
like
very popular.
it's just like Donald Trump, anybody else. They're just the face of something,
Yeah, that's
you know.
true.
And I got to be honest. As far as it goes, when I look deep down, what I do hear from Kate Brown is that she's reachable. Like somebody has her ear. I'm not sure if they're good or bad, but that she's definitely reachable, and she's constantly kind of like moving. That rubs people the wrong way sometimes. But
What do you think about they tore down the Theodore Roosevelt monument? What do you think about that?
I hate it.
Yeah.
Don't tear nothing down.
No, I agree with you. And then Lincoln, the Lincoln Monument, he helped end slavery. Why do they?
Well, Lincoln said if he could, he would have kept slavery going. He said if he could do it without and still save the Union, that he would have did that. So I wouldn't give him credit so much for the slavery piece. No, but he saved the Union for sure. Also with the battle that they had with the Washita Indians helping out, and a lot of the Seminoles, you know what I mean, they still honor that day to this day. A lot of my people were involved in that too, you know what I mean, the Washita natives.
Okay.
But, yeah, so, but I mean, as far as,
So what about removing the Lincoln Monument?
I think it's terrible.
So even though you don't agree with
what? No,
Lincoln or some of the things.
I agree with Lincoln. Did you hear what I said?
Okay.
I said that him about freeing slaves is kind of like a misnomer because Lincoln himself said that he would still keep slavery if he could do it and also save the Union at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's why I wouldn't so much give him credit for ending slavery, but you know, hey, I love the history. Now what I do love is I love the fact that he was fighting against slavery.
Yeah.
the whole Republican movement to an
I do
extent.
too.
To an extent, you know, from an industrial standpoint, they was doing some other things, but yeah, they were fighting against it, and that's why I still honor that to this day.
Yeah.
I still honor that thread in the movement.
Do you agree? So, I mean, are you aware that I mean, until just recently, Oregon was the only state that had the non-unanimous jury verdict was allowed, and that stems from Jim Crow laws, and that was overturned by a higher court, so now no longer Oregon can do that. Do you agree that Oregon has, unfortunately, some roots in racism?
For sure, I think you know
Yeah.
that, man.
I think so.
This was created as an oasis for the Europeans. They considered the Northwest in this region up here, they were going to make this like a utopia, like a European utopia. They had big history about this. That's why a lot of the groups, like the skinheads, a lot of the so-called prejudice groups, they originate from northern, Washington in this region up here. This was their utopia. At the same time, though, it has a deep Native American heritage. It's deep. This is the original place of the totem pole. It's got a lot of deep. The oldest man that's known on this land, known as humans, the Kennewick man, is 12,000 years old. Was found in this landmass. So I mean, it's a ceremonial place. It's high, and that kind of shit too. So yeah, but it was Europeans thought they were going to create a utopia up here.
Okay.
And so yeah, we have a deep. Also, I would that law was okay, but I think the one that even trumps that is the one they took out in 2011, and it was concerning like the sundown law, where so-called blacks, they're not to own property and not to be out after dark. That law was in the Oregon Constitution, and it got pulled out in 2011. Or maybe 10, 9, 11, 12.
Not that long ago.
About 2011, yeah,
There we
early
go.
2012.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, I would look more into that. Versus the, I hear what you were saying, the Jim Crow. What'd you say it was based
Jim Crow laws. So basically,
everything was based on
basically what
pertaining
that,
to
what that whole thing
how
was.
we're gonna deal with this so-called Negro.
Yeah, let's say there was a black man on trial.
So-called black, yeah.
And then what that was for was so that if somehow a black man got on the jury and he said that that man was not guilty of anything, he's still guilty if all the 11 white people said he should go to prison.
And then
so that's wrong. And so that's
that
wrong.
combined with not being able to have a jury of your peers too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
So what do you think? So then you think that the rioting should stop then? I mean,
it never should have started.
It never. Right.
You don't start something without an end in mind. And I never heard a clear end.
What do you think is their end in mind? What do you think they want to do? What's their end game?
Well, clearly that when we're speaking today, I hope that we're talking about the people that have penetrated, the healthy, I want to say good, wholesome community members that may have some concern. Their movement have been hijacked by the same individuals that have penetrated the movements for the last 4 or 5 years in Portland.
Okay.
Those same groups are the same groups that have been fighting. Obviously, I know about the utopia up there.
Yeah.
Guess what? Those little gangs, those skinheads and all that, they had rivals for a long time. I watched them fight all through the 80s. Those same people are still fighting, calling each other racist back and forth. One of them say, you're racist, you're racist, you're racist. But they both look like skinheads. Like they got the bald heads, one of them got a Nazi, one of them is a sharp, whatever. They got different boots on. The same group, they're doing the same shit right now. They're just hiding behind organizations. The same thing street gangs have done. The same thing that everybody's doing. They turn into organizations now.
Do you agree that they should defund the police in Portland?
Sounds retarded.
I know.
Yeah, of course. I mean, let me ask you a question. I'm sorry. Of course I don't. Who would agree with that?
Well, they were talking about it.
Just talking about they. So the people that hijack these movements, these people from out of town.
I just wanted to get
That can't handle.
I back the police.
I do too. I do too, because they're part of this community.
They're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm sure you're not perfect.
They're part of this community.
You
Guess how many times me and the police make contact? Probably in downtown Portland, maybe 21 times. Arrested maybe 19, 17 times or something like that downtown Portland. How many times I've been beat up? Maybe none. Maybe once.
By the police?
Exactly. Last time I heard my buddy say he was beat up by the police or anything, it had to be over 15 years ago. Last time I heard somebody physically tell me, and I deal with people and criminals all day long.
Yeah.
I know you guys are calling me a criminal now, but it's good.
No,
I'm not.
Not a
When
criminal.
they look it up, they're going to see I'm a career criminal. I haven't been in trouble in over 10 years though. So
I don't think you're a career criminal.
Oh, well, on paper, by definition.
But that's
I
all
don't
right.
think
People
that's good.
change.
Oh, it's good.
I meet a person and
It's
that's
good,
how
though.
I judge them.
Yeah, no, it's good though.
They look at paper and they say I'm a criminal. I don't know what's the difference, right? I mean,
It's fine.
We all make mistakes.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's good. Whatever, however they want to spin it. I'm
not an establishment favorite.
But I think they hijacked this movement.
Yeah.
They're known. They're caught now at this point. The cat's out the bag, and so they're doing ridiculous stuff like this. I don't agree with it. I don't think they should be doing nothing like this.
Yeah.
You're not even from here.
Yeah.
Why won't you stand up and be accounted for? No ends in mind. Show me your Oregon ID. I'll show you your right to protest on Oregon soil. Matter of fact, this is a territory. This is the Oregon territory. This is how I'm. Me standing right here. I'm with the U.S.A. I'm not even a part of the United. I mean, I'm a part and partial.
Sure.
But technically, I'm U.S.A.
Yeah.
Me personally, to be honest.
Do you think in the last, I mean, by and large, are you treated fairly by the police in Portland? Do you feel like?
Yeah, I'm treated according to how I'm carrying myself. Me and Dylan had this conversation yesterday. The thing is this, what people don't realize. You can cause confusion really easy with law enforcement. Okay? If you have one thing on your mind, say you might have read something and you learned something, but you haven't yet added that knowledge to a part of who you are. But you just think this stuff and you know it really well.
Yeah.
Okay, but you haven't figured out how to apply this to your daily life. This right here can cause confusion because now in your mind, I'm a new person. I have a new form of thinking. I'm doing something different.
Yeah.
I got a new understanding of the law, and I'm going to act it out right now. But guess what? When the police pull you over, on their computer, they have a different story. That's how you look. They're saying something.
This is Michael Cross. He's running for Attorney General.
Military gear.
Oh, okay. I thought I had seen him before.
Yeah, he's he's not a career politician. He's not a lawyer.
I'm going Democrat all the way. I'm really frustrated with billionaires. So I'll vote anybody who's anti-billionaire.
Yeah,
I've never seen a Republican candidate.
Yeah, he's for the people. The Attorney General now said that she works for the governor. He goes, I work for the people. I represent the people. He doesn't care what if you're a Democrat, Republican, he works for you.
Okay.
So.
Well, good luck.
Everybody got a chance to be born.
So.
That's right, and it's how it goes. But you're causing confusion. We're speaking on the police to get off track. That's the problem a lot of times is people cause confusion. Anytime that I've caused confusion, I might have had things not so favorable.
Huh?
What I say, my mind, heart,
I believe he is.
Has he ever picketed, joined the picket line?
Anything else you want to?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him that. Is he pro-union?
Pro-union? I'm not exactly sure on that stance. That'd be a great question to ask him. If you have a business card, his direct line is on there.
I think it's very disrespectful, and I think it's
you know, in Texas, where I'm from, there's a giant statue of a conquistador, and I saw this one fall, and I'm hoping that one there falls. We'll see what happens. They took down a whole bunch of Confederate statues. The conquistadors are even worse than the Confederates.
Oh yeah.
Man, that says a lot. You know what I mean? I think someone doing that.
You know, the conquistadors are really bad.
And if they have an opposing side, they need to present a candidate.
All right, have a good one.
All right, you too.
I already said that you're willing to stand up for the debate. I can ask you now. I said, hey, if they present a side and present somebody, would you be willing to debate them? They said, yeah. I said, intelligent, legally, of course. Not a bottle throwing match, not a yelling match. You're talking about this stuff. That's not politics. We're past that now. Now we're at this stage.
The incumbent
right
doesn't want to debate me.
Of course not. They want to keep doing that kid shit down there. Throwing bottles and being weird. Of course they don't want to debate.
Makes no sense.
Because you have to talk like this.
Yeah.
And you have to have something intelligent.
What has she got to hide, right?
Some bullshit that you're not hiding very well.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you
I
too,
appreciate
Mike.
you.
We're gonna do work in the
I love Oregon. That's why I'm doing this.
Man, me too.
And I don't like what they're doing. It's got to stop.
It's gonna stop.
Yeah.
The police are already taking action.
Amen.
They're immediately rushing the crowd. You know why they're doing that? Because they already got the notice that, hey, none of our people are in there. Rushing.
Yeah.
That's why. They don't rush us like that. Those people were hiding behind us for a long time.
Yeah.
Doing shit, not us, but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Me and the police in our community, when I say us, I mean our community.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm not Negro, black, or color. Those are all slave labels. But I'm just saying, and I still represent our community. My people can come, get back to their proper self, I'm with them. That's my people for sure.
I love it.
They don't stop being my people because they're under European psychology. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I'm gonna work with them, man.
All
Have
right.
faith in them.
Well, thank you,
We
man.
love what you're doing.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, yeah. One love.
Thank you.
Hate? Anybody want to hate?
All right.
Hey, you got your